We all love convenience, don't we? I mean, getting that perfect movie recommendation, the fastest route through traffic, the ideal spot for dinner. It saves us time, it frees up our brain for other things. But what if all those little helpful choices that AI makes for us come with a hidden cost? What if by outsourcing all these small decisions, we're slowly outsourcing our ability to even know what we truly want? Let's get into it.
Okay, just take a second and think about your days so far. The news that popped up in your feed, the playlist for your morning workout, the route your GPS automatically picked for you. How many of those were your choices from scratch? And how many were just you picking from a short list and algorithm already prepared? It's probably way more than you think.
So why do we do this? Why are we so eager to hand over the reins to these automated systems? Well, the answer is surprisingly simple, and it happens to be one of the most powerful forces shaping our world today. This quote from the futurist Brian Alexander just hits the nail on the head. He doesn't just call convenience a nice to have, he calls it a powerful force. And he's right. It's the #1 reason we are so willing to let software take over the tasks we'd just rather not deal with ourselves. And just look at how deep this goes. This isn't some science fiction scenario, right? This is our everyday life. We outsource the boring stuff, the difficult stuff, and honestly, sometimes even the fun stuff. From scheduling a meeting to picking a movie for date night, we're constantly letting algorithms handle the mental heavy lifting for us. And here's the thing you have to remember. This isn't some kind of personal failing. It's not just you. We seem to be kind of hardwired for this. When we're faced with a complicated decision or a really tedious task, our brains naturally search for the path of least resistance. It's a very human tendency to just give away our agency, especially when an app makes it so easy. Okay, but all this convenience, it's having a fascinating and maybe a little concerning effect on our actual brains. So, what's the cognitive price we're paying for putting our minds on autopilot so often? So the fancy scientific term for this is cognitive offloading. And we've always done this to some extent. Think about writing a shopping list instead of memorizing it. But with AI, it's different. We're not just offloading our memory, we're offloading entire thinking processes like reasoning, planning, and problem solving. And this is where it gets really wild. Research from the CARI journals used EEG scans to actually look at people's brain activity. And what they found was that when people lean really heavily on AI tools, there's a measurable drop in neural engagement. The parts of our brains responsible for planning and problem solving, they literally become less active. They just quiet down. This observation from an interface designer really puts it bluntly. It's not just that the tech is there for us to use, it's that we often seem to prefer it. We're pretty happy to let a black box system guide us, even when we have no idea why it's making the decisions it's making. Which leads to this really powerful metaphor. Is our tech still just a helpful tool, like a hammer, or is it becoming a cognitive crutch that we can't really function without? It seems like relying on it too much might be weakening the very mental muscles the AI was supposed to help in the first place. So we've seen the effect this has inside our heads, but what about the choices themselves, out in the world? We feel like we have infinite options at our fingertips, but the reality is way more complicated. The systems we use are actively shaping our choices before we even see them. Okay, so here's how it usually works. We start with some vague idea, a raw user intention, like, I want to watch a movie tonight. But that thought is immediately fed through all these algorithmic filters, which spit out a suggested choice set. The final decision feels like it's totally ours, but it's from a menu that's already been heavily curated for us. And this creates this huge gap between the promise of AI and what's actually happening. We're sold this idea of infinite choice, but what we get is a handful of curated options. We're promised empowerment, but what we get is behavioral nudging. We're told it's all about personalization, but for the platform, the real goal is to make us more predictable. There's a name for this whole phenomenon. It's called algorithmic determinism. It's the idea that these systems don't just react to what we do. They use our data to predict and then steer our future behavior. It basically creates these self-fulfilling prophecies where your past clicks end up determining your future options. And what's so important to get here is how subtle this all is. Nobody is taking away your free will. It's not that direct. Instead, the digital environment itself, what designers call the choice architecture, is being redesigned. The options are laid out to make you feel totally free, while gently guiding your decision toward whatever outcome benefits the platform. So, this brings us to our final and maybe the most profound part of this whole thing. When our brains are being rewired and our choices are being curated, what happens to our sense of self? What exactly is the algorithmic self? This quote from anthropologist Nick Seaver. This is it. This is the heart of the entire issue. The algorithm doesn't just find what you like. Through constant, subtle reinforcement, it slowly trains you what to like. It's not discovering your preferences, it's actively shaping them. Let's just walk through this feedback loop. It starts super innocently, right? We outsource one little decision, the AI learns from that, and shows us similar options next time. We choose one of those, which reinforces the AI's model of who we are, and over time, our taste isn't something we discover for ourselves, it's just reflection of what the algorithm already predicted we'd like. And the final step, we actually start to struggle to choose anything without its guidance. Which raises this huge question. The process of figuring out who you are and what you like, trying something new, maybe hating it and learning from that, that's a core part of being human. That is self-reflection. Are we now outsourcing that fundamental process to a piece of technology? This leads to a completely new definition of identity. The algorithmic self isn't based on your hopes, your dreams, your inner thoughts. It's a profile built from a trail of digital breadcrumbs. Every click, every pause, every purchase. It's a version of you defined by systems that can read your behavior with incredible accuracy, but can never, ever truly know your intention. So we'll end with this. The convenience of AI is amazing. It's undeniable. It smooths out so many rough edges of daily life. But as these systems shift from just helping us to actively shaping our world and even our own preferences, we have to stop and ask, if an AI is curating all of your choices, who or what is ultimately curating you?